and welcome. I'm Daffy Roth, and this is Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Conviction for the PC. In this episode, we're just going to cover the manual. Nothing special. This manual is actually pretty short compared to the other ones, so I guess that's good for everyone involved. For those that actually watch these, you don't have to hear me drone on for like 40, 50 minutes just reading what the manual says. So anyways, but just for preservation's sake, we're going to go ahead and cover it. We're getting to the end of the series with Blacklist being the next and final installment. So I just want to make sure that we get the manuals covered because, you know, they used to be pretty awesome. I mean, not just Splinter Cell, but going back to the SNES days and Nintendo, you know, the Nintendo days, like the manual is a big part of establishing a lot of the things that happen in the game that they aren't able to show. So I think as games got newer, they kind of moved away from that because they were actually able to present those things in game. But in either case, all right, so here we have our cover. Shows a disgruntled Sam Fisher beating up an agent with a weird goggle. I don't know if it's probably askew because he got beat up or something. I don't know, but it's red, so that means they're bad, right? Looks like it's taking place in DC as well. Looks like the Capitol building is on fire, so looking forward to that. All right, moving on, we have our technical support. You know, just our standard stuff there with our warranty and, you know, refunds and what you need to do to get a new copy if your game is broken. Following that, we have our table of contents. Getting started, game setup, introduction, HUD, core gameplay, gadgets, PEC challenges, weapon upgrades, multiplayer, Uplay, and then the tech support. Like I said, it's a short manual, only about 11 or 12 pages. We have getting started, our system requirements. Thank goodness we do meet those system requirements. But you know, Windows XP, miss it, as well as Windows 7. Windows Vista could burn in the depths of hell for all I care. Processor, as long as you have a Core 2 Duo 1.8, you're good to go, or an AMD Athlon X 264 2.4. Need at least 1.5 gigabytes of RAM for Windows XP, 2 for Vista, and 7. Video card should be good so long as you have 256 meg DirectX 9 card. 512 is recommended, guys. I know, you know, we're gonna need to get that. 10 gigs of hard drive space, a DVD-ROM drive, and internet connection. To support a card in series, we have the 7800 to 7900. The 8, 9, and any GTX series. And then those ATI cards. All right, moving on. We have, you must be at least 13 to create a Ubisoft account without parental consent. Ubisoft may cancel access to online features upon a 30-day prior notice published at http://www.splintercell.com/conviction/ all the online services for this has been shut down. So whether they followed that 30-day guarantee, you know, notice, I don't know. I think they do. I think pretty much any game publisher will usually announce when they're shutting the servers down. So, which is what the whole Stop Killing Games is all about. You know, you can find that information in the video description. Right now in the US, it's kind of meh, but in the UK, it has garnered a lot of attention. It's actually headed to the government, you know, to be assessed. So that's good news. We could see some changes coming down the line in the next decade or so. All right, installation. We need to install Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Conviction. This is done. This is a Steam copy, so you just download the game at this point. But back in the day, you'd put the DVD in your drive and then install. So I'm not really going to go over that. We all know how to do that. Same thing with game setup. Online save games. Oh, this actually had cloud-based saving. Nice. All right, but we will go over the controls. So player movement, forward is W, SAD, right click to take cover, control to crouch, shift to run, Q to mark, E to execute, T to unmark all. So it's kind of similar if you've played Ghost Recon Wildlands as far as marking enemies for, I guess, a sync shot. It's similar to that. Action spacebar, attack is C, gadget F, left click to shoot and reload, zoom is middle click, alternate weapons 2 or up arrow, pistols down arrow. Gadgets, we can cycle through inventory, mouse wheel scroll left or right. Wow, that's interesting. I think that's the first time I've seen a game utilize that function of the mouse. Frag grenades 3, flashbang 4, EMP grenade 5, remote mine 6, sticky camera 7, portable EMPs 8, detonator 0, sonar goggles is Z. Objective is tab, pause menu is escape. PC gamepad, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Conviction may be played using a 12-button 2-axis gamepad. Gamepads are detected at launch and automatically enabled. The gamepad can be disabled by turning off the Use Gamepad settings within the Gameplay Options setting menu. While gamepads are enabled, all HUD control images use gamepad button images instead of keys. The mouse and keyboard may still be used while gamepads are enabled. We will be using the Xbox controller for this because the PC controls on this are whack. All right, moving on. We have introduction overview. Now operating as a free agent, Sam follows the trail of his daughter's killer to the island of Malta. Isn't that? I think that's where the Olympics are being held. Could be wrong. But what starts as a personal mission becomes part of something much bigger when Third Echelon intervenes. Sam is taken back to Washington for interrogation and learns explosive secrets about his past and Third Echelon's future. Forced into an impossible situation and tormented with new knowledge about what happened to his daughter, Sam teams up with an old brother-in-arms, Victor Costa, to unravel the deadly web of conspiracy that his family has become entangled in. Sam's personal quest and the threat to Washington itself collide as he dives deeper into the conspiracy. With time running out, Sam must face his past, or there may not be any future. All right, we have our characters. Sam Fisher. Once, Sam Fisher was an elite secret agent, the first Splinter Cell activated by the NSA's Third Echelon branch. But after the death of his daughter Sarah and the deep cover op where Sam was forced to shoot his friend and superior Irving Lambert, all that ended. Sam walked away and went solo. Now years later, he's on the trail of his daughter's killer, a trail that leads inexorably to the island of Malta. But Sarah's death is only a small part of an even greater mystery waiting there. With Third Echelon operating under new leadership and with a new agenda, Sam must find new allies or decide if he can trust old ones in his quest. And because Third Echelon's rules no longer apply to him, Sam will do anything he has to do in order to find the truth. Yeah, we'll find that Sam is no fucks given Sam in this series. Anna Grimstadter, it's good to see her back. I personally think the best version of Anna was, I believe, Chaos Theory. I think that was the one that I really enjoyed. She looked good in that game. It looks like she's a redhead now. Grim, once Sam's handler within Third Echelon and the confidant of former agency director Irving Lambert, now plays a much larger role within the new Third Echelon. Working closely with new director Tom Reed, Grim is the agency's conscience as well as its most effective and ruthless asset. Victor Costa, the man who knew Sam Fisher before he was a Splinter Cell. Victor Costa served with Sam in Iraq. Born on the rough and tumble streets of Pawtucket, Rhode Island, Costa is now working. I'm sorry, the rough and tumble. When I think Rhode Island, I don't think rough and tumble, but you know. Costa is now working the private security angle in Washington, D.C. These days, he's the only man in the city whom Sam can trust to have his back. Andre Coben, smuggler, gunrunner, entrepreneur, and all-around scumbucket. Andre Coben is a man to go to in Malta if you want anything illegal. But he wasn't always a high-flying international procurer. My goodness. Once upon a time, he did dirty work on the Baltimore docks, but his past and his mysterious connection at Third Echelon are about to catch up to him. And so is Sam Fisher. Director Tom Reed. The new head of Third Echelon, Tom Reed, has a very clear idea as to what the agency should be doing to protect the United States. Relentless, efficient, and energetic, Reed has revitalized Third Echelon and extended its reach in ways his predecessor never would have imagined or been willing to do. Then again, Irving Lambert was the man who brought Tom Reed into Third Echelon, a decision with consequences that still echo years later. Lucius Galliard. Businessman Lucius Galliard has a successful, diversified portfolio. He also has powerful friends who have made him the point man in an explosive operation that threatens to shake the foundations of Washington. With private military company Black Arrow following his orders, Galliard is a man to be reckoned with. President Patricia Caldwell. America's first female president, Patricia Caldwell, was elected on a platform of bipartisan cooperation and disentanglement from pointless foreign conflicts. This has made her powerful enemies from the corridors of power in Washington to the shadowy boardrooms of multinational corporations. Steadfast in her beliefs, even when it would be easier to back down, Caldwell relies on a core team of people she can trust absolutely. All right, next up we have our HUD. One is the execute token. When you have earned the right to perform an execute action, this token is displayed. You can always mark your targets, but you can only execute after you performed a hand-to-hand takedown of an enemy. Choose your inventory. The inventory displayed details the weapons and gadgets you're carrying. You can swap between a primary and secondary weapon and the up and down arrow keys, and select gadgets to use with the left and right arrow keys. Alternatively, you have direct access to your weapons and gadgets on the number row. The ammo for the currently selected weapon and quantity of gadgets or grenades you have are displayed next to their icons. 3. Detection arrows. The detection arrow shows you the location of enemies that have a line of sight on you. A white arrow indicates an enemy who has not yet noticed your presence. A red arrow indicates an enemy who has detected you and who is now responding to you. 4. This indicator displays the source of any damage that you take. Core gameplay, mark and execute. Mark and execute puts the power of Sam Fisher in your hands. It is a way for you to pre-plan your attack, even the odds, and take down enemies before they know what hit them. Mark your targets with the Q key. You can mark enemies, traps, and explosives. Once you perform a hand-to-hand takedown through either melee, pulling a target over a ledge or railing, dropping on them from above, or grabbing a human shield, you earn the right to execute using the E key. Mark and execute's available from any stance at any time as long as you have unlocked the right to execute. You can see you have the right to execute. I like the right to execute. Like, this is funny. You have the right to execute in the HUD when this is displayed. When you execute, you take down every target that you have marked that is in range and in line of sight. These targets are shown with a red thing above their head. I can't think of the word right now. Chevron. Sam is more proficient with some weapons than others, so different weapons have different ranges and different numbers of marks available. Last known position. The last known position is an indication of the last place the enemy saw you. Most enemies will focus on that position, suppressing it, throwing grenades, and eventually flanking around to check whether or not you are really there. Once the enemies have decided that you are no longer there, they will start to search the environment. The LKP automatically appears when all enemies lose sight of you. If you stay active until the enemies have checked it, you are there or not. Light and shadow. When you are hidden in the shadows and your enemies can't see you, the screen display fades to black and white. I actually had that disabled through a mod. So anyhow, while you're in this state, the only way they can see you is if you move right in front of them. They happen to shine a flashlight on your position, or you fire and create a muzzle flash. On the other hand, you can still see your enemies clearly when you are lurking in the dark. Gadgets. In Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Conviction, Sam Fisher doesn't just rely on his wits and training. There's an entire arsenal of grenades and gadgets that he has access to. Of course, since he's no longer with Third Echelon, getting a hold of some of those tools isn't as easy as it used to be. Some he'll find along the way, some will be provided by allies or fallen enemies, and some Sam will just have to improvise. Just because they're crafted from the environment, however, doesn't make them any less effective. Mirror. The mirror is an improvised gadget. It allows you to see under doors and plan your attacks. While using the mirror, you can mark any target under the reticule. To use the mirror, simply look at the bottom of the door, select the peak under action, and press the spacebar. Snake cam. The snake cam is essentially a fiber optic cable attached to an imaging device. It allows you to discreetly view the action on the other side of the door by peering under the door. It has enhanced viewing capabilities far superior to those of the mirror. To use the snake cam, look at the bottom of the door, select the peak under action, and press the spacebar. You can mark any target under the reticule while using the snake cam. Flash grenades. Flash grenades temporarily blind and stun enemies that are close to them or who are looking directly at them when they go off. This makes them a great tool for setting up your entry into a well-guarded base or even helping to cover your escape from combat. Flash grenades are equipped in the inventory using the left and right arrow keys. Throw them with the F key. Frag grenades. High explosive fragmentation grenades are small anti-personnel devices designed to be thrown. The explosive force shrapnel can take out multiple targets in a... the explosive force and shrapnel can take out multiple targets in a small area. Frag grenades are equipped in the inventory using the left and right arrows. Throw them with the F key. Sticky camera. The sticky camera is useful for allowing you to see an area remotely. You activate a sticky camera by throwing it into the environment. Once the sticky cam is deployed, a picture-in-picture is displayed that shows you what the camera can see, and a remote control is automatically selected in your inventory. If you activate the remote control by pressing the F key, you will enter a full screen view from the camera's perspective. From this view, you can mark enemies with the Q key, cause a distraction with mouse 2, or detonate device with mouse 1. Sticky cameras are equipped in the inventory using the left and right arrow keys. Throw them with the F key. Next up, we have the remote mine. Remote mines are manually detonated, explosive ambush devices. Once the remote mine is deployed, your inventory automatically switches to a detonator. Detonate the mine by pressing F or swap to the remote mine to continue placing more of them. Remote mines are equipped in the inventory using the left and right arrow keys. Throw them with the F key. Sonar goggles. The ultra-high frequency sonar goggles use sonic pulses combined with an advanced AI controller that penetrate through objects and walls to provide an enhanced visual representation of the engagement zone. In other words, sonar goggles literally see through walls to identify humans, discriminating between armed targets and civilians, and detect explosives. Sonar goggles are activated and deactivated by pressing the Z key. EMP device. The EMP device is a short-range, low-intensity EMP generator that is capable of knocking out electronics without permanently damaging them. When you activate the EMP device, it takes out all the lights and electronics in a small radius around you. You can use the darkness and confusion to make a quick escape or to launch an attack. The EMP device is equipped in the inventory using the left and right arrow keys. Throw them with the F key. EMP grenades. EMP grenades are a shorter range, high intensity version of the backpack. As a consequence, the effects of the EMP detonation last longer, making this grenade a highly useful tool for preparing an entry into a hostile area. EMP grenades are also helpful for when you want longer strategic control of an area. EMP grenades are used in the inventory using left and right arrow keys, activated with the F key. And that's interesting that the EMP grenades last longer than the actual EMP device itself, but nah, whatever. Persistent elite creation challenges. What a weird name. Throughout the game, performing certain challenges will reward you with the points. These can be spent towards upgrading your weapons and gadgets, as well as unlocking uniforms and upgrades for use in multiplayer modes. To view your challenge progress, either select extras from the main menu and then select PEC challenges, or check the pause menu. Weapon upgrades. By completing PEC challenges in game, you earn points that allow you to upgrade your weapons. You can upgrade your weapons in the locker room or in game in weapon stashes. There are a variety of weapon upgrades available. Each weapon can have up to 3 upgrades. Once an upgrade is purchased, it is automatically equipped. Adding a suppressor to a weapon vastly reduces the audible and visual signature of the weapon. Adding a reflex sight will also provide you with an extra mark for the mark and execute system. Adding a laser sight makes aiming the weapon easier. A 2x scope allows you to see farther while aiming with the weapon. A 4x scope improves your zoom range even farther. Hollow point ammo. Hollow point ammunition does increase damage. Match grade ammo. Match grade ammunition is accurate out of a greater range, allowing you to mark and execute more distant targets. Extended magazine. An extended magazine increases your ammo count in the weapon, as well as the total amount of ammunition you can carry. Gun stock. Adding a customized gun stock improves the stability of your weapon during long bursts. All right, multiplayer, co-op story synopsis. 4 Russian EMP weapons have been stolen and need to be retrieved before they are sold on the black market. Third Echelon and their Russian counterpart, Voron, must work together to recover the warheads, sending American agent Archer and Russian agent Kessler deep into the heart of Russia's dark and perilous underworld. Together, Archer and Kessel will embark on a mission that will require their cooperation and combined skill, that will test their mettle every step of the way, and that will test their very conviction as Splinter Cells. Character bios. Archer is part of Third Echelon. Earning an economics degree at Harvard, Daniel Sloan Juarez joined the NSA to pursue a career as an intelligence analyst. While at the agency, Daniel interpreted signal intercepts connected to dozens of terror plots and personally identified the leadership of extremist group, the Grass Liberation Front. Though Daniel proved to be a highly capable analyst, his deeply entrenched resentment of authority created considerable tension with his superiors at Fort Meade. Sloan Juarez soon began to chafe against the bureaucratic confines of his job. Fortunately for him, his personnel file was flagged for potential field duty by recruiters for Third Echelon, and Anna Grimstarter quickly approved his admission to be the group's grueling training program. 18 months later, he was assigned his call sign Archer. Let's see here. We have Kestrel Voron. Most of Mikhail's military dossier is classified. What is known is that he is no stranger to death, misery, and misfortune. His parents were killed in a terrorist attack when he was 6. He had a tempestuous and violent relationship with his foster father, and at the age of 14, he ran away from home to live on the streets of St. Petersburg for more than 4 harrowing years. After numerous runs-in with the local police, Volkov was arrested at age 18 and turned over to the army for his period of conscription. Unlike many conscripts, Volkov thrived in the brutal atmosphere of the Russian army life and was quickly transferred to a special counterinsurgency unit charged with tracking down and neutralizing Chechen guerrillas and Wahhabist fighters in the Chechen capital of Grozny. After an incident where his entire unit was ambushed and subsequently captured, Volkov was forced to witness the systematic executions of his friends. He endured 3 days of unspeakable torture before the Spetsnaz came to his rescue. After reading his report on the incident, the SVR officer named Viktor Kovalev approached Volkov to discuss a new special operations group dedicated to high-risk infiltration and information gathering. From that day on, he was known as Kestrel. All right, we have our game modes. We can choose from 5 different game modes. We have co-op story. Play the cooperative story campaign with a friend through 4 unique environments, taking on the roles of Third Echelon and Voron characters, Archer and Kestrel. Hunter, your mission is to eliminate all the enemies in a progressive sweep of the map. Getting detected causes enemy reinforcements to arrive, increasing the difficulty. Last Stand, defend an EMP generator against waves of enemies. The enemies will concentrate on destroying the EMP if you remain hidden in the shadows. Showing yourself causes the enemies to focus their attacks on you while the EMP can be repaired. Face Off. Face Off is an adversarial mode of spy versus spy with enemies thrown into the mix. Earn points for killing enemies and earn lots of points by killing the other player. Getting detected by the enemies causes your last known position to be revealed to the other player. Infiltration. Infiltration rules apply to this mission. Eliminate all hostiles in the mission area without being detected. Stay hidden in the shadows and use stealth kills to prevent the enemy from spotting you. This game mode must be unlocked through Uplay. See the Uplay section of the game manual for more information. Game types, play online. That's no longer available. Finds an online match that meets your preference of game mode, map, and difficulty. This selection offers you an option to start your own game if no matches meeting your preferences can be found. LAN takes you to a list of games on your local area network. From here, you can create a game or join an existing game on your local area network. Cooperative gameplay. Co-op mark and execute. Marked targets can be executed by either player, and you will be prompted to join your teammate in a dual execution when you both have visibility on any of the marked targets. Jumping into your teammate's execution allows you to engage the targets from your point of view, allowing you both of you to have greater visibility on the targets. When performing a dual execution, the player that jumped on board does so for free and does not use an execution token. Revive. When your health drops below a critical state, you drop to the ground, immobilize, and begin slowly bleeding out until your teammate revives you. If your teammate does not revive you, you will die and the game will end. While you are incapacitated, enemies will think you are dead and therefore not engage you unless you engage them. At any time, you can choose to sit up and draw your pistol to engage the enemies or cover your teammate as he makes his way toward you. Getting shot while incapacitated causes you to bleed out much faster and die. Chokehold. Enemies can grab you in a chokehold, causing you to lose health quickly over a short period of time. The only way out of a chokehold is to be freed by your teammate. While being choked, you can perform a window of opportunity action by pressing the spacebar. This causes you to dodge to the side and open a clear line of sight for your teammates to take out the enemy. If you haven't been freed after performing a window of opportunity, the enemy pistol whips you in response. This causes you to lose additional health and brings you closer to death. Uplay. What is Uplay? A pile of crap. Uplay is a set of services that gives players extra value for their Ubisoft games. With Uplay Win, you earn units. You earn units by performing specific actions in Uplay-enabled games. These units can be redeemed for rewards or saved for better rewards later across all Uplay-enabled games and across all associated platforms. Basically, the more you play, the more you win exclusive free content for your favorite games. Uplay Help will give you guidance and tips to enjoy Ubisoft games at their best. Imagine being helped by the developers themselves. Also, get help from other players, or help other players yourself. Uplay Share will allow you to create content from within the games and share it with your friends and the rest of the community, be it statistics, pictures, videos, or even in-game content such as maps. Uplay Shop will be your designation to browse and buy additional content for your favorite Ubisoft games. Accessing Uplay from the main menu, select Uplay to access. Uplay menu. We use the mouse to navigate in this menu. Validate your selections by left-clicking on the appropriate menu actions or within the Enter key, or go back with the backspace key. Pressing the escape key will exit Uplay and return you to the game menu. Profile, yeah. Account settings, yeah. Uplay Win menu. Use the mouse to navigate in this menu. Validate your selections by left-clicking, yada, yada, yada. I mean, unless you have Uplay, it's kind of pointless. All right, moving on. We have our rewards information. Uplay theme. Redeem it and the new window will pop up. You need to choose the path to save the zip file and click to save. The Scar H weapon. You can take possession via main menu, side mission, locker room, arsenal, Russian soldier, uniform, infiltration, game mode. So the only way to get it is to download it. There was some DLC added that added deniable ops, which I'm not sure exactly what those are. Let's see here. Game to web. View your story progression and complete story stats with your friends by visiting www.splintercell.com/conviction. Register your game for insider access. It's painless, we swear. Give up your information. So yeah, that's 2010. So cool. And then we have our Cisco Solutions Power the White House and Pentagon third echelon. Even your living room for a lot of money. And then finally, the back of the page here, extend your game experience with Uplay. Collect units as you play across Ubisoft games. Unlock additional in-game content. Share content with your friends. Get help to beat your games. Access all downloadable content directly from your games or on www.uplay.com. So, all right, well, there we have our manual. Like I said, short and sweet. Not a lot, not nearly as much information as before. It doesn't, I mean, I like the inclusion of a co-op story, but it kind of sucks that not able to go through it simply because, you know, there's no longer any servers available. They do have a LAN, especially with the mod that I have, which you can get, that changes some specific things, which I'll go over in the gameplay section. But, you know, it'd be what it be. So, okay, well, there we have it. I'm going to go ahead and close this video out, and then I'll see you over in the gameplay video. Until then, bye-bye.